Hello guys, hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're doing well. I'm excited for this video. It's going to be a crazy one. It's going to be super in depth. It's going to be extremely actionable, and it's going to show you how I use the high ticket protocol to scale any coaching offer, any consultant offer to 50 to 100k a month with just 5 to 50,000 followers. You can even do honestly with less if you do everything I'm about to show you correctly. If you implement these strategies, or at least if you use these insights, I promise you, you're going to scale your stuff. This is just kind of like an overview of how this stuff works. But this is the thesis that I'm going to use to basically scale any coaching offer to 50k in a month, leveraging the high ticket protocol, which is the protocol that I use. It's just kind of like imagine it as like a collection of systems that I basically implement into people's businesses, okay? And you can use this exact same thesis to scale offers to 100k a month, because at the end of the day, it's all just inputs and outputs. And before everyone comes at me and be like, okay, cool, how's that even possible? Let me just show you it is, okay? So it's one of our clients, Hassan, with just 2.5 thousand followers. He scaled to over 50k a month. In the last 90 days, he's over 150k cash collected with his business. You can just see the screenshots, and these are things that, I'm not even going to bother to be like, oh, it's real, and I'm like, believe it or not, it's real, essentially. So that's him. And yeah, like you can see, his only presence is this. And this is honestly, guys, with like a capped ad spend, not even spending crazy amounts on ads as well too. It's like, you might think, oh, he's probably like doing crazy amounts of ads. He's not, okay? Like, it's just normal. And this is also a client, Raheem, as well too, scaled over to 40k a month, which is 4,000 followers. The biggest month was 40,000. Narrow scaled 32k a month within 45 days, which is 25k followers at the time of recording. This is some screenshots of that, and there's also some more screenshots. If you follow me on Instagram, you can just see like my timeline. I just constantly post this guy signing close clients. And I used to coach in a company called Client Acquisition, multi-7-figure company, and I was coaching a lot of the clients on acquisition, on signing clients, on getting results for the offers, and a bunch of other wins too as well too. Like, a mayor closed $15,000 in the last 2 days in cash, and his lead flow, it was just at around like 8-10 calls a day with the free funnel that we're using essentially. And then there's some other wins as well too. And then this is like Hassan closing having a 10k day. What's it called? Faizan, I think he had a 3k, 4k, and like there's just so many of these. There's so much. I don't know what this is in contracted revenue. It's probably over like 10, but it's like in cash was like, I think around like 7,000-ish USD or something like that. And if you want to just peep through and check my Instagram highlights, you can just go on my Instagram, he's WBL, and just go into like the client results section. Like, you can just keep tapping. There's just so many of them, because all these people use the high ticket protocol. They use these things I'm about to show you that allows you to scale your coaching offers. I know these people did not have hundreds and thousands of followers, but they were still able to bring in a shit ton of revenue because they were charging high ticket. And in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how you can use this model to make a lot of money. Even if you have a small following or a personal brand and you want to start coaching, I'm just gonna break down pretty much everything. So if you can't give me your undivided attention for the next, I don't know, maybe 30-40 minutes or so, this video is not going to be worth your time, okay? But for people who are willing to do that, I promise you it's going to be worthwhile, because if you're not getting results like the things I just showed you, this video is going to be extremely actionable. So make sure you watch this whole training all the way to the end. Perfect. Now that I've got your attention and I've weeded out the time wasters, let's just jump right into this so I can break down who this document is for. So this document is for anyone that kind of wants to start a consulting or coaching offer, or done with you offers. So done with you means you're doing something with someone. This is for you. If you already have a coaching and consulting business, this is for you as well too. If you have a social media presence and you have no idea how to kind of like properly monetize it to make money, this is also for you. And if you have a social media audience that you want to monetize with a high ticket offer, this is also for you as well too. If you sell low ticket courses, programs, where you just kind of like sell cheap stuff, and you want to start kind of like charging like, higher, and you're kind of stuck charging these cheap stuff, this is also for you as well too. If you're on an agency or anything like that, and you're just finding it super difficult, and you want to kind of like switch into consulting or like help people scale as well too, this is also for you as well. And if you have any sort of expertise, like you have an idea, you have some knowledge that you want to package and sell at a premium that you've been really good at in the past, but you just haven't like kind of packaged it in like an offer that you can sell online, this is also for you as well too. So if you're one of those people, those are the types of people I can help, okay? And I just want to explain who this document is not for. So if you don't have any sort of online presence or any sort of audience, this is not for you, honestly. If you can't make money, you can't make money for a coaching business out of thin air. Like if you don't have like any sort of presence, it's gonna be difficult, because a lot of the times when people don't have presences, sometimes they won't have like the money to spend on like acquisition. But if you have, you know, the time and the money to put into this is the only exception that I can kind of like give to you, only if you're actually good at what you do. Because the only way you're going to make money, even if you don't have a presence, when you start getting people to see that you're actually good at what you're doing, that's the best way to do it, okay? If you don't want to start a coaching business, then I don't know what you want to watch this video for. It's not going to help you. If you don't want to build good products or services and get clients results, then this is definitely not for you. If you don't have minimum viable competence or something, so that means if you're not actually good at the thing you're trying to coach, or good at anything, in fact, and you can't teach someone else, this is definitely not for you, okay? So before I dive into everything, if you don't know who I am, my name is Mahis, and I just kind of want to show you how I kind of got to this point in the first place, because obviously I'm not just saying all this stuff out of nowhere. It was obviously progression, and I want to kind of break down what that progression kind of looks like, so you can see how this stuff is even possible in the first place. So I run a growth partner agency where I come into businesses, I launch and scale the coaching and WU offers by building acquisition systems into the businesses. However, it didn't start like this. Last year around 2022, I was literally just a content agency. I was helping people create content, like, you know, short form content, reach more people. But as I started scaling that offer, I realized that a lot of my clients had a lot more problems than just content. Like, they were not really getting a tangible ROI from my services. And even though like I was trying to base my offer around that, people would just pay me for like, you know, 2-3 months, and they would just leave. And at the time, I didn't have a lot of clients, so that obviously sucked. And everyone just kept saying the thing of like, your service was great, I loved it, I just didn't really get an ROI, or it's hard to track an ROI, so we won't be moving forward. I can't be paying for something that doesn't bring an ROI. I've heard everything, okay? And I was like, damn, what can I do? It was just the same cycle of, you know, signing clients, they get really happy, maybe they refer me or something like that, and then after 3 months they leave because they're like, hey, I can't get results from this, I'm not getting anything from this. And I was like, damn, this sucks. And it was just the same cycle. And so I rebuilt my whole offer around getting clients and ROI with my agencies in 2022 in December, and I started scaling since then. As I started offering, ROI, you know, I was speaking to people, I was explaining how the project is going to work as a signing clients. I actually got one of my clients who told me that he paid over 15K for a program and he didn't even get results. And I was like, wait, how does that make any sense? Because I was kind of fairly new to the agency game. I was like, how is someone paying 15K for a program and they're not getting any results? And I think at that point I was making about like, you know, 7-8K a month-ish, and I couldn't fathom it. I was charging my clients like 1.5K a month, and I was getting better results for them than these programs. And I was like, what is going on? And what made me go crazy is I checked the community and there was like over 500 people. And if the ticket price is 15K, if over 500 people have joined the community, if they all paid the contracts, which I'm sure not everyone did, but they basically just made a seven figure revenue, which is insane. Like 7 million. I was like, what the heck? And I was like, wait, how do you do this? And I was thinking to myself, how do I charge 15K? But you can't just charge 15K with no social proof. So, but they were charging 50K. So what was in my head was like, okay, cool. How's that even possible? So ever since then, it's been my mission to just understand how to present something to someone that someone can easily pay 3 to 15K upfront for. How to market it to get it in front of the right people who have that type of money to even spend in the first place, because people do have that type of money. You just have to market to the right people. How to book appointments with people on the phone, how to speak to them, how to get in front of them, how to close them on a call and get them to pay you upfront for your services, how to deliver an excellent service and use that money to ascend them to other programs, because what usually happens is when you solve a problem for someone, you create a new problem, and you can also charge to solve that new problem that you've created as well too. And you can use that money to acquire new people, and how you can just make everything like loop. And after doing this for a while, I can probably say that I've kind of figured it out. So let's just jump into it. So what I want you guys to imagine is every single profitable high-ticket coaching business is the same. What do I mean by this? The profitable high-ticket coaching businesses at the highest level, you're going to realize a lot of them are basically just the same. And no matter what niche, no matter what offer, no matter what audiences, the principles that make these things scale all work. They're kind of like universal laws, and I'm going to explain to you what they mean. So everything always starts from the market. The people you're selling to is like the main thing. Then after that, you've got the offer. You've got the problem you're actually solving. What type of problem are you solving for these people that is allowing them that you're presented to the market, because markets will have problems that they need to be solved, and your offer is basically you showing them how you're going to solve that problem. Cool. And then the funnel, where are you directing all this people to? Where are you directing all the people from this market into? Do you have an IG? Do you have a page? How are you generating traffic? So, okay, cool. Now that you've got the place to send these people to, where are you getting the traffic in the first place? Okay. And then next over here, you have the appointment set system. Okay, cool. So for high ticket, usually you're booking appointments with people to speak to them before they actually buy your services, most of the time. Okay, so that's why you kind of need an appointment setting system. How are you booking these people on appointments? And then the sales process system is like, okay, cool. How are you kind of like selling to these guys? How are you basically just conveying value? Sales process is just an exchange of value. Like, how are you doing that? And then the final part is obviously your fulfillment. So how are you getting these guys results? How are you getting them the value that they paid for, and how you're using that to get more people, essentially. And it all starts from the market. Okay, these are the people that are going to pay you money. As simple as that. So every given market has a subsection of people that is willing to give them money. Okay, so these are people that are ready to buy. Maybe they're thinking about buying, or maybe they don't even know that they're ready to buy in the first place. So that's the market. Now you have the offer. So the offer is the solution that you're presenting to the market in order to get them to buy your stuff. What do I mean by this? So when you have an offer, think of it as like your company sending a proposal to another company. That's basically what it is. It's like, hey, this is exactly what I can do for you. And the offer has to be conveyed in such a way that it speaks out to the pain to the market. It speaks out to the pain that the market has, and it gives them a reason why your offer is the solution to their pain, and it also gives them a reason to buy right now. That's usually what good offers have. Okay. Third part is funnel. So this is where you're connecting the market and the offer. So essentially, this is how people are going to be aware of your existence, okay? And how you can actually solve the problem. So think of it as like your digital like blueprint. Your digital blueprint could be anything like, your IG, it can be like your funnel, it can be like your landing page, any sort of thing that just kind of like shows them that you're a normal human being, and like you have a footprint that people can see. That's kind of like what it is, okay? And it's the way that you're kind of like connecting the market and your offer together. It's like a centralized place that you can direct traffic to, okay? And then the part after that is obviously the traffic generation system. So this is how you're getting eyeballs to your funnel. Essentially, this is a system that's designed to get as much traction as possible. If you have lots of traffic, it equals to lots of money most of the time. Damn, my cough, it's actually crazy. Cool. So lots of traffic most of the time equals to lots of money if you have a lot of these systems dialed in. Because a lot of the time people have a lot of traffic, but it doesn't usually equal to a lot of money. But most of the time when your systems are dialed, it's very like that. It's very like more traffic equals more money a lot of the times. Okay, cool. So after that, you need an appointment set system. And now that there's traffic, you need to get people on a sales conversation. The higher the price, the more sophisticated it is to sell. So most people will need to kind of talk to human beings before buying something. So this is essentially a method of getting people who already want to buy on the phone so that they can pull the trigger. So what that means is that these people are already interested in your services. They wouldn't be speaking to you if they didn't have some sort of interest, if you're doing your appointment setting correctly. Okay? So with that, you have leverage, and you know for a fact that they're on this call for a value exchange. And the value exchange is what you're looking for, okay? So now you're in the sales process. This is basically how you're showing the value to your product. Damn, I don't know why my throat is going crazy. Sorry about this. I hope I'm not killing the quality of the video. I hope it's still really valuable right now. If it is, just make sure you hit like so it gets shown to more people that might enjoy this type of content as well too. Cool. So obviously the sales process, this is how you're showing value to your product and getting an interested prospect to actually pay you money. Okay. And then fulfillment and results, this is the delivery of what was promised in the actual offer. So this is where you're delivering the value that people actually paid for, okay? The way you package and fulfill is going to depend on what you're offering. But typically, these types of coaching offers produce some sort of transformation. They have some sort of journey that they take people towards. They can use in your marketing to attract more eyeballs to your funnel, okay? And then what I want you guys to imagine is everything then comes back in like a loop. So once you're getting people results and your fulfillment is getting people results, and then you use that results, you use the money that you're making from your sales process as marketing to get more people from the market to see your stuff, okay? So it kind of like just flows in like a circle. So that's why it's a very straightforward type of business model, and you don't need a lot of moving parts to make everything work, okay? You can literally get to like 6 figures per month by doing this. And it's like, if you don't even believe me, guys that make 6 figures per month, they say the exact same thing. Like, it's just so simple. Like, you don't really want to overcomplicate this. Cool. So now that we kind of understand the components of what makes a high-ticket coaching business work on a high level, and like I said, I'm talking about profitable coaching businesses, by the way. If you have a coaching business and let's say you think you're missing one of these steps, chances are you're not super profitable if you're not doing these things correctly. So I need to explain this in simpler terms so that you can actually apply this knowledge to get results. So let's just actually dive right into that. The first thing you need to do is you need to find a market that actually wants to spend a lot of money, okay? And what I mean by spend a lot of money is you need to find a market that has a lot of pain or has a problem that you can solve. Here's the simplest way to explain this. So which hot dog stand do you think is going to outperform in terms of sales? A 5-star hot dog stand or a bad hot dog stand with lots of hungry people? I'll let you guys think about that. So the bad hot dog stand with lots of hungry people will win every single time simply because there is more demand and there's more pain. Notice how the hot dog stand in this situation is the offer. This is what you're selling. But the market decides what they buy. So these people over here are going to decide. And if this is not available and this is the only thing that's available, everyone's going to buy this. Even if it's horrible, they're still going to buy it because it's solving the pain of them being hungry, essentially. So in markets that get people paying the most money are the people that are in the most pain and also have buying power, aka they're not poor. So there's a lot of markets that have a lot of pain, but they don't have the buying power to be able to afford your solution. So a lot of the times, you're not really going to be making a lot of money from them. But there's a lot of markets that are kind of in like, let's say like decent amount of pain or like semi-paid, but they have buying power. If you can convince them well enough, they're going to buy your stuff essentially. So I'm going to give you a list of markets that have high buying power, aka lots of money, and they're usually in deep pain. So these are just a list of people, 9-to-5 workers, corporate professionals, C-suite executives, agency owners, international students, software engineers, athletes, musicians, doctors, medical professionals, real estate developers, legal professionals, entertainers, legal professionals. Most of the time, these people have money to spend on your offer. They can afford B2C stuff. They can not B2C stuff. They can afford spending $3,000 to $5,000. That's on average what it costs to buy a singular education program or any sort of program that teaches people a specific skill. Okay, and if you're in these niches or if you know people that are in these niches, you can actually figure out what type of pain that they have or what they're willing to spend the money on that's going to relieve them of that pain, essentially. There's lots of people that target these specific types of people and make us so much money. I'm talking ridiculous amounts of money every single year just by working with these types of people. Okay, so these are just a few examples of people that get paid a lot, but they usually struggle with some pains that they can't figure out. Okay, so coaches that have offers that usually help people with some sort of promise or some sort of transformation, the biggest mistake is that they try to appeal their service to everyone. So they will just say, I help everybody, or I help people. I've seen an ad that just says, I help people. It's some people just say people. And that's not going to attract people that are super high value, that are willing to pay you money. A lot of the times it's good to have it as a front facing offer, but in your content, in your marketing, if in your VSLs, in your videos, you need to kind of explain the types of people you want to work with. Otherwise you're just going to be attracting a bunch of people and you're going to be wasting your money. So what we do for some people is we'll niche down into a specific type of person. Either it's 6 or 7 figure entrepreneurs, or maybe it's 9-to-5 workers. Maybe it's ex-athletes if we have an athlete offer. Maybe it's C-suite or executives. That's a very good niche to target as well too if you have an offer that can actually solve their pain. Maybe legal professionals, doctors, medical professionals as well too, talking how they can save more time. Crazy offers like that and offers that you have experience in helping, they do way better than saying I help this person essentially, or I help everyone. Those are the types of offers you kind of want to move away from. Okay, So now that you have the market, you need to figure out what they're struggling with, what is the pain that they have, and what are they willing to spend thousands of dollars to solve. Okay, this is what you call the offer. And here's exactly how to build one so you can get people just throw money at you. Essentially, it's not too complicated. A lot of people like to break down offers and say it's like a crazy thing, but honestly, it's really not. Cool. When it comes to building a high-tech offer, it shouldn't be overcomplicated. But this is what most people do when they want to build offers. They look at someone that's making a lot of money. Maybe it's like a competitor. They copy and paste everything that they do. Like they just go in and they copy their entire funnel, their entire copy, their entire landing page. They copy everything. Okay? And then they add their own stuff to it. They add their own sauce. And what they do is they put it out there and they just hope that it sticks. They hope that it makes them money. Okay? So this doesn't make them money, okay? It ends up making people little to no money at all, and it actually led to you even be more confused because you're like, wait, I'm just emulating what is already making money for someone else. How's it not working for me? So the method is to ignore the noise and just focus on what people actually want to do. They actually want to buy, because what people want to buy is what's going to make you the money. There's a reason why when you walk into a restaurant, you pay every time, which I would, at least you hope you do. You walk in, they give you the menu, you pick what you want to buy. And you end up leaving paying for the thing that you want to buy most of the time. At least I would assume for most people that go to restaurants. When you go to a place to buy something, they ask you, hey, what do you want? What would you like? Because you're going to buy what you want to buy. But if you go to a place and they just start suggesting you stuff, they're like, oh, you should buy this, you buy that, you're not really going to feel comfortable buying that. And this is what a lot of people do for the coaching program. It's actually so funny because you can always trace back the things that you do in the online space to stuff you do in real life, where people would create their own offer, which they think people want, and you just start spamming them. They just start ramming them and they're like, hey, do you want this thing? And it was like, actually, I probably don't want this thing. And then you're like, why? Because you're not giving these people what they actually want to buy, okay? So you literally just ask the market what they want to buy. With the hot dog stand example, this is very simple. It's literally as simple as going to hungry people and just asking them, hey, what do you want to eat? And they're going to tell you, I'm hungry. And you're like, I just want food. And you're like, okay, cool. What type of food? And then they're like, oh, I want this. You give it to them, they pay you. It's that simple. So now that you provided the food, people are willing to pay for it. By directly talking to the market, you're going to know exact pain points. You're going to know the goals. You're going to know what the market is actually currently experiencing so that you can tailor your message to actually solve the problems. Once you know these things, you can craft crazy offers. Like you can craft a lot of offers. You can craft sales letters. You can craft VSLs. You can craft fulfillment. You can craft so much stuff that will resonate with that market. You can literally create what people want out of thin air. It's so simple. So you simply supply the already existing demand and people will pay for that. And if you have people want, like I said, they'll buy. It's literally just like this. Going up to people in your market, asking them what do you want. Cool. So now I've kind of broken that down. How do you actually do this? So I'm going to explain this in the simplest way possible if you have an audience. If you have an audience, you just have to ask them what they buy. You can literally just go like this. I'm helping blah, blah, blah people, nothing to be sold. If you need some help, just DM me or something like that. So basically what I'm trying to do is you make an offer on your page. You'd be like, hey, I'm trying to solve X problem. You're having a hypothesis of the problem that you're trying to solve. And I'm trying to understand how this problem works. So I just want to ask some people so I can get some advice or some clarity on what people are currently struggling with so I can, see how I can help them better. The key to make this work is to make this about themselves, about them, because the more you make it about them, the more people are going to feel drawn to help you, because people like feeling that they're giving you advice. They like that feeling of, oh, I'm helping someone. You can literally DM someone and say, hey, I need some advice. And most of the time they're going to respond and be like, yeah, what's up, bro? Because they like that feeling of helping people, essentially, like most people do, okay? So you want to do that. And on calls, people are going to tell you what they're struggling with. I ideally want to have a conversation. Don't do it through DMs, because on calls, you can get them to like really open up and really be honest. And you can be really cheeky with your questions to kind of set them up to do something later on, which I'll kind of like explain. So what I like to do on calls is I like to ask them, what did you get started? What's your main goal? What's your roadblocks? What's the timeline? What have you tried? What's your work experience? What are you trying to do right now? What are the things that failed? You're just trying to get understanding of the current situation so that you can craft an offer that can better suit them. It's very important to know what their goal is, the roadblocks, their pains, and also the timeline that they're looking for, because you're going to use these things in your offer, which I'm going to show you a little bit later. So all of these responses that you're getting from these people on calls, you're going to use this to craft your high-tech offer, because we're going to be relating the things in these things to people to the thing that people are struggling with the most. When it comes to pricing a high ticket offer, I made a whole crazy in-depth training about like pricing specifically. I can even show you this actually. So I made a whole crazy training just going over pricing specifically. Yeah, it actually just defaulted to it. That just like literally breaks down everything. And it's like, there's so much stuff that goes into it, but it's like a good rule of thumb, honestly, for pricing is price according to your social proof and case studies, and also price according to your market's buying power. There's so much stuff that goes into it, but to make it very simple, I would say for most education offers, when you're starting out, you can keep them between 1 to 3K. And then once if you're a little bit more established and you want to charge high ticket, you can keep them between 3 to 7K. If you have insane leverage, case studies and testimonials, and I mean like over like 200 plus people that you work with, people you've helped, or like even more than that, you don't have to, but it's like ideally, because that's kind of like a good indicator to know that you're actually pretty good. You can charge 10K in like B2B settings as well too. I don't really see a lot of people charging over 10 in B2C. That means directly selling to like everyday people, simply because the unit economics just don't make that much sense, because most of your B2B customers are going to be earning less than like 50, 60K a year. So you're asking them for more than 20% of the income up front, essentially. So it's like people say, oh, charge what you're worth, charge what you think you're worth. But it's like, it doesn't really work like that, because there's still universal laws that you kind of need to follow when it comes to pricing. So it's like all these people saying that you can charge whatever. I see people like charging B2C prospects like 15, 20K. It's just like mathematically, it just doesn't make sense, because if you're selling to people that only make like 50K a year, how are they going to afford $20,000? They're going to have to go into debt. So that's kind of like why I just say price according to your leverage results, according to the transformation, and also keep in context the buying power of the people you are selling to. That's also very important, okay? But don't fuss too much about this, because, you know, even if you want to charge crazy amounts, I can still show you how to use payment processors and funding systems to allow people to pay you high ticket, even if they don't have all that money up front. But ideally, keep it easy to get started with, especially if your product is good. You're going to sign people. You're going to sign a lot of people anyways if your fulfillment is leveraged enough. Okay, cool. So yeah. So if you already have a high ticket offer, if you're already a coach, ask some current clients, literally ask your current clients right now the same questions and ask them what made them buy. Like, ask them what was the pain that made you wire me thousands and thousands of dollars online. Okay, like look back on your sales calls, look at what they say when when you ask specific questions. If you're not asking them questions, you're doing something horribly wrong. You need to fix that. You ask them questions like, what have they tried before? Why did they think they haven't scaled? What do they think they need to scale? What did they hate doing? And obviously change the verbiage to your niche as well too. And I promise you, once you guys do this, you're going to have crystal clear data on what people actually want. Okay. So from now, all you need to simply do is just grab the Alex Hormozi formula. I will help you end result in time frame without roadblock plus guarantee. And just use what people tell you as the variables. So for example, if on a discovery call, a lot of people were saying, I just want to stop feeling stress and I want to stop being anxious about my job. Your end result becomes, I will let you feel less stressed and anxious about your job. That's because that's the thing that they want. Okay, if a majority of people tell you they want to get there in 30 days as quick as possible, your timeline becomes, I don't know why I said 30, 50, your timeline now becomes 30 days because that's what they want. Obviously, you have to do it based on what's feasible. So if you think it takes more sense to make 60 days, then it's fine, you could do that. But do you see what I mean here? You're crafting your offer based on actual data from the market on what they want to buy from individuals. And if you speak to like 15, 20 people, you're going to notice people are going to start saying the exact same thing over and over again. And then once you figure that out, once you got that pattern, you're like, okay, cool. I know for a fact people want to buy this. And now this is where you basically won. Because honestly, this part is probably the hardest part of like the whole coaching stuff. Like probably the hardest. Everything else after this is so simple, because if you get this part wrong, or if you get this part really bad, it's so difficult to bounce back from it, because you're building something that's foundationally like wrong, essentially. So if the foundations are good for this, people are going to be willing to pay. They're going to be willing to pay 3K, 5K, 10K up front, because you literally have what they want. Okay? So now that you have the market figured out on the offer, we now need to just build out the funnel. Okay? So the most efficient high ticket funnel is, in my opinion, is something I'm going to dive into a little bit later. But first of all, I just want to kind of like show you all of the funnels that people have there. So there's a lot of funnels. There's webinar funnels, there's VSL funnels, there's quiz funnels. I could go on and on. There's so many different marketing funnels that people just make up every single day. However, these methods, like, bro, there was literally a book on webinar funnels. Like, so many people know these things. You can literally buy books around them. It's not new, and it's not necessarily what's going to get you to print cash today, but these are things that still work, okay? But when I say the most efficient funnel, I just want to tell you, like, the most efficient funnel for your money, for your time, and for the effort that you have to put in to actually get a result. I use something called the IG funnel. And honestly, I think it's probably the most efficient way to get people to see you for the first time, get nurtured, have a sales process, and actually get them to buy your stuff. Because I know people that literally operate the whole business off Instagram, like one account, and they make like $1 million a month. Like, I'm not even joking, literally just off Instagram. Seeing people that do 100K, 200K, 300K, 400K, 500K a month just from Instagram, and maybe YouTube from their traffic sources. It's crazy. Why does it work so well? Instagram has a lot of people using it daily. Your ICP is on Instagram. Even if it's B2B, I have screenshots of my clients signing millionaires from Instagram. We had a guy that literally closed for $2 million, that was making $2 million a month, and we signed him directly from Instagram. We paid him £5,000, and he pays like 2.5k monthly to be in the community. And that's the type of stuff you can get, bro. It's nuts. Like this is one of the screenshots. He signed another one where it was like 2 million clients back this month. One provides education to students from America, blah blah blah. And he's signing these people literally just from Instagram. It's crazy. And you're gonna find a lot of people have money there. And Instagram, the parent company, invests thousands, not even thousands. I got confused with my own coaching stuff, but they invest billions and billions of dollars just to understand how to keep people on the platform longer, because that's how they make their money. As you can see, there's an article that was kind of like going over that. So if Meta, the company, is spending $1 billion to keep people on the platform and make the platform as efficient for creators like you, does it not make logical sense to use the platform that is literally designed to help you make more money and keep your ideal clients on the app for the longest period possible? It's literally designed to do that. And I'm sure that it makes logical sense now that I've explained that. So let me just kind of like go over what the funnel is and how it actually works. Okay. Like I said, there's multiple different ways you can run these funnels. I'm just going to go over the one that I use the most and the one that I have the most experience with, because it's basically what's made me a ton of money. Cool. So yeah. So you see your IG. Your IG is basically your funnel. You need to set it up in such a way that it takes people on a journey of discovery. What do I mean by this? So when you have a profile and offer, these are like two things. So this is like a funny meme where it's like the nice looking guy goes up to Susan. He's like, looking good, Susan. And he's like, this is allowed. And then the other guy goes up to him, not so nice looking. And it's classified as like as harassment. I'm not going to say that on YouTube. But I like this meme because two people can say the exact same thing but get vastly different results. Okay, so it's like if Drake DM'd a girl saying, "Hey, how's it going?" Or like if not even a girl, just if Drake just DM'd you saying, "Hey, how's it going?" compared to a guy that has 523 followers said the exact same thing of like, "Hey, how's it going?" Who are you going to respond to? There's going to be a huge difference in response rates. The profile is everything, and without this in place, honestly, you're burning a huge potential of leads. So if those things aren't fixed, you can forget about running this in the first place. So let's just start with the profile. Your bio just needs to easily just say what you do, your credentials, CTA. Okay? I like to run it like this. There's multiple ways to answer these questions, but you need to have this sorted first. And now the fun part, this is how you can actually turn your IG into an actual funnel. So this is where it gets fun. So what you want to do here is, as you can see these grids, your content needs to be objection handling content, and also needs to be value-based content. And also you can have content that just attracts attention and whatnot. But the main things that people are going to see that are going to be pinned on your profile is your main ad, your main like offer, and your main selling point that you provide into the market. Testimonial of any kind, any sort of like result that you generate for someone so people can see it, because most people who are going to be checking the page are going to be from a cold audience anyways. And then a little bit about your story if you have an offer that kind of like, resonates with something like that as well too. So what's going to happen is you're going to pass something which I like to call the shit test. And the shit test is basically when people go on your page and they're trying to just find stuff to just hate. They're trying to find mistakes. They're trying to find things that prove that you're not the type of guy you say you are. They're always sniffing around. And if you can put those things in front of them extremely quickly, the people who are skeptical now turn into people who are like interested. So the skeptics change their perspectives and they're like, okay, cool, this makes sense. Like, this guy is very interesting now. But if you don't do that very quickly and you have to make people kind of like dig into you, there's going to be a lot of people that would have been willing to pay you, but they were not willing to dig into you to see if you're legit. So that's why it's kind of important to have this thing like out there in the first place, okay? Every piece of content should have a reason as to why it's made. Your content, when you're trying to get sales, should particularly be about, belief breaking, handling objections, and giving value. And then you should just be driving traffic either through making it go viral with organic strategies or just forcing paid traffic to it, okay? Because this is the type of content, and is a different video of me kind of bashing giving value and just focusing on breaking beliefs, handling objections, and giving insights, because those are the types of things that attract people that actually want to give you money, okay? And then you want to like direct CTA into the next step. CTAs that work for content as it stands right now are CTAs that are very frictionless. The more friction you add to your content to get people to DM you or like have a conversation, the more qualified they're going to be. However, you can't really add too much friction if you haven't got the audience or the authority to demand it. Good CTAs for IG Reels when you're recording 60-second shorts is like stuff like follow me, like me, comment, or most of the times you can even do DM as well too. That also works. So yeah. And now that you set up your profile in a good way, what you have to do is simply just get people to actually see it. So which moves on to the next law, traffic generation. This is the form of getting human beings to see this funnel, which is basically your IG profile. So now that we've established that human beings obviously need to give you money in order for you to make money, how do you get as many human beings as possible to even go on your strategically optimized profile? There's two ways to generate mass traffic at once. It's either content advertising through organic, or there's paid advertising. Nothing else exists for coaches. Like, you're going to be generally using those two, okay? So the most efficient way to do this, if you don't have a lot of cash to waste on ads, is to have good organic content, a good organic content strategy that goes semi-viral. This is an example of something that goes semi-viral in a niche industry. He actually has more. I think he's had views that hit over like 50, 500k or something like that. But the formula is to have a very broad hook, niche down which you offer slowly to the types of people you want to work with, give something of value, and then ask for them to comment to actually collect the free thing. So this works extremely well when you're trying to like do decent well, but your videos actually have to be good. So it goes as like very broad or very like strategically planned hook that is based on like maybe current events or like something that's currently happening, or like just some based on something interested. Then you niche down slowly in the video, and then you basically give them value and you give them a reason to comment. So you ask them, hey, I just created this document that breaks down everything. Comment if you want this doc. The client only had 1,500 followers when we made these posts. So you can go viral if you have a good content like strategy for this. Like, content is its own beast on its own, but ideally what I want you guys to do is not have the expectation of going viral straight away. I want you to just record videos, okay? Because going viral comes a little bit later and you can actually just force mass attention, okay? So these always get some traction, especially if the lead magnet is actually what something wants. You keep these very short so the retention is high. Tells Instagram that people are watching it till the end because the watch time will just double. And you have something of high perceived value that you're giving away for free. You ask people to comment for it, or you're just asking people to DM you for it. Commenting tells people, Instagram, that this is good content because people are engaging, and then it shows it to more people. And then from there, you should usually have a DM or appointment setting strategy in the back end for these types of videos to keep people on the platform longer, interacting with your page, so that Instagram pushes your content to even more people. Because what happens is if people are commenting with your stuff and you're messaging them back like almost instantly, you're having a conversation with them, Instagram's like, oh wow, this guy really likes this guy's profile. Let me send it to more people just like them to even do well. Sometimes you get to the point where there's too many leads, like over 300 comments. I highly recommend that you set up like a ManyChat automation to just auto DM the leads when they comment specific keyword. It literally takes like not even 15 minutes, like 5 minutes to get going. It's going to make your appointment setting a lot easier. And now that you have all these leads, all this traffic, you need to keep your foot on the gas and just keep posting. Don't just post CTA content because it gets boring and repetitive sometimes. Have some personality, make people like you. And I'm not going to give you a masterclass of content. Like, there's a lot of people that are doing extremely well content. Like, there's guys like Chooser, there's guys like other people that do CTA content like all the time, and they're making so much money with them. I think Chooser's making like 400, 500k a month just from Instagram, by the way. And that's how you make this stuff consistent. So posting consistently is extremely hard, especially if you're not an expert. So stick to the end. I'm going to show you what my clients are doing, only spending 2 hours a week of content to have daily posts going out for them without having them to do the work. Okay. So once you've done that, now you need an appointment setting system. So now that you have all these people from your page, they're asking you, they're giving you free stuff, they're showing you some interest in what you have, you need to speak to them on the phone, okay? So that we can sell expensive stuff to them. So the way that you do this is you have sales calls, you set up appointments with them. Why? Because the more expensive the product, the more thought goes into it before they buy. It's like buying a house. When you see something you like, it's not just like a checkout page on the house. It's like, buy this house now, where you put in your car details. Obviously, you have to go see the house, talk to the agent, see the surrounding area, view your finances, and then ultimately make the decision to purchase. Obviously, we're not buying a house here, but I'm just using that as an example. It's similar to high-ticket coaching but there's not as much steps involved. Like, they don't have to do all this review and stuff, but they do need to have a conversation. I know a lot of people sell through chat and they sell through DMs, but honestly, I just recommend having conversations because you can kind of get a gauge of who's a good client or who's not. Because if you find someone's a bad fit, they can just save you a bunch of headaches by not accepting them on. But if you're DM closing everyone and you're just trying to sign as many people as possible, you might find a client and you're not going to like them and you're just going to be like, bro, I don't like this guy at all. So I'd ideally just speak to people before you get them on. And what do I mean by qualify? And it's also just good in general to just figure out the pain points and just know what they're struggling with so they can use it for marketing as well. So obviously, you want qualified appointments. You want qualified appointments with people that actually are qualified to buy your service. What did I mean? Basically, most people that have money. Most people that have the problem you can solve. Most people that are in the niche that you're trying to solve. Okay? If you're trying to work with C-suites and executives, you don't want people that are working janitor jobs, booking in calls with you, because you can't help them, essentially. So qualified just basically means people that are in the best position to afford our programs or in the best position for us to help them. So you can't just be on the phone with everyone. It has to be people that can afford it, and you can't just be sending links to everyone. So you need to qualify first, and this is where the appointment setting strategy goes into play. I made so many detailed videos on how this stuff works because it's a whole rabbit hole, but a general rule of thumb to follow is to follow this framework where you have an initial message, which is something like, hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. You have a qualifying system, asking them what they do for work, why they're interested in something like this. Then you have another part where you're identifying the gap. So this is where you're figuring out if you can actually solve where they're at right now and where they want to be. Because you're going to use what's in between the gap as leverage to get them on the call in the first place. So once you identify that gap, you now want to transition to the call. So you now want to be like, okay, cool. I've seen what you're struggling with. We can actually help you with this, essentially, and then explain how you can do it. And then you propose a call, you keep it very smooth, and then give them a reason to actually book the call straight away. So when you send them that link to book in the call, usually what I do is I just say, hey, could you book right now so I can prepare some stuff for you beforehand. When you do that, you get a lot of people that are going to be actually on it to book. But a lot of the time people just send a link and they're like, hey, let me know once you found the time. Like, take care of that when you can. No, you have to give them a reason to actually book right now. So yeah. So I've put example conversations on my YouTube previously. So if you check out my YouTube, there's videos that just break down like whole conversations, videos of us like spending $75 and making back 9K, showing you the whole damn process there. There's so much stuff essentially. And here's an exact conversation. You guys can like read through this. If you guys want the stock as well too, there should be a link as well too to actually just grab it. But yeah, like you can just read through this and just see what we're doing here and then how we're creating the gaps, well, blah, blah, blah. So even with this bulletproof framework, people struggle to book in a lot of appointments because it's just crazy. Like some people will still struggle to do it because a lot of the times, a lot of people don't know what they're doing. I've got something for you if you're still struggling with this. I think I wrote this before, but now we're pacing clients that are booking like 15 calls a day. I used to think 15 calls a week was cool. If you can book 15 calls a day, that'd be crazy. And it's a normal feeling for us at this point, essentially. Like I can even like show you, for example, but I don't want to just have the effort of like blurring stuff out. But it's like, you can literally just go on my Instagram, just go into my client results and you will see a shit ton of them. Here's another one, booked 11 calls in a day. Calls are just so easy at this point, guys. Like it's so easy. So now you're pretty much chilling. You've got the market that's in pain. You've got an offer that people are willing to pay thousands for. Your strategy to get people to see your content every single day. Like you're making organic content, maybe you're running paid ads, maybe you're running strategic like profile visit ads for people to, go in front of your content as well, which is why I recommend that people do when they start out, they run strategic profile visit ads because you're literally buying traffic. Traffic is a commodity. It's technically almost free. Like you can get traffic for free. So traffic should never be your problem. And then from there, you should be able to convert that traffic into actual calls. So now people on the phone with you, now you just need to give them what they want so you can collect cash. And the best way to do this is to have a sales process. This is how people are going to give you money. And I know people DM close 3K, 4K, 5K, and I know a lot of people rely on VSLs as well too, and they have like a big checkout button, like, hey, here's where you wire me $5,000. These stuff work. However, the easier path when you don't have a lot of social proof or you don't have crazy amounts of case studies is just to have a sales course. Because like you're not going to be getting people to DM send you 15K wires. Like it's just going to be very difficult, especially when you're starting out. Because you're going to get a lot of market feedback and you're going to be able to make your ads better to the point where you could even afford to DM close people, essentially. So, what do I mean by this? You need to create content that's in longer format, breaking down these types of things. Because what you want to do is you want to make the call as easy as possible for you to get the prospect to buy and to get the most qualified calls. And the way you do that is by getting them educated. And you educate them on what your offer is, why you're qualified, who you've helped, why you're making this, how you solve the problem, what options they have, and why they need to make the change right now. This is actually a pretty decent like VSL structure. There's lots of VSLs that don't really follow the structure. But if you're looking for an example, think back to the last time that you bought something. What type of content did you watch? What videos did you watch from that person that made you feel like, hey, I want to have a conversation with them? What made you feel like this is what I needed? And what ultimately got you to pay? A lot of the times when you reverse engineer stuff, you end up figuring out what made you buy something. And you're like, oh shit, if I just did this for my own self, I'll probably get a lot of people that went through the same journey that I went through to buy something as well too. So you're always going to get something that works. And when it comes to people to paying you, honestly, you might come to situations where people want to buy, but they don't necessarily have all the money up front. And the good thing is to offer payment plans. If you're in a country that allows it, you need to have funding options as well too. You could use a firm, some people use that. You can use Klarna. I don't use any of these, but it's like I know some people do this as well too. So basically what this means is that people can pay you, let's say your program is $1,000. People can pay you like $200 and you get $1,000 up front, but they have to pay like monthly. But the monthly is not done through you. It's done through the provider that is sorting out their financing and stuff. And Easy Consultant as well too. We've used this for clients. I mean, clients have used this for themselves. They've closed like 12K payments as well, literally just from this. Like this is one of our clients, Raheem, closed 12K deal, a 5K deal as well too. And depending on what you're selling or who you're selling to, your sales process is probably going to be completely different. I'm not an expert in sales. I know sales, but it's not like my forte. But basically what I would recommend for people is just have a sales process that makes it very easy for people to hop on calls with you, where they're pretty much almost pre-sold anyways, so you can have a good time closing them. And if you don't have that in effect, I've literally broken it down in my program that literally just like breaks down literally everything. I don't say program, it's more of like a collection of systems they can literally just implement that just show you all the stuff. And it just goes into crazy depth. Like I show people conversations that have booked and goals. I show them like my top talent that booked closes, how to find top talent. Like I literally broke down a whole SOP, a whole system that they can use to just find these people. And it just makes everything a lot easier. So if you want me to show you what the best process would be for you specifically, just keep reading till the end. I'm going to show you exactly something that's going to work for you. So now you've got this, you've got fulfillment and feedback loops. So now that you've got people to actually pay you money, you now probably have a lot of excess cash that you're just using to sit there. So now what you need to do is you need to allocate some of that into becoming leverage so you can control the traffic that comes to you, okay? So when this stuff goes viral, it can be pretty random. And what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to pull a lever that you can use to get more people to see you that in your target market to do this stuff. And this is where ads come into play. And you can start ads at the traffic part if you're not getting a lot of traffic. But a lot of the times if your organic is good and you get some sales from your organic, you can start ads and just go crazy from there. And the formula you want to do is once you get that cash coming through from your offers, you reinvest that into profile visit ads. So you reinvest people to see your funnel that we strategically created to get people to booking calls. And once they've seen your funnel, you have your appointment setter ramming everyone that's liking, commenting, and engaging. You're booking in calls, and more money you're making, you're just using it to run more ads so you can get more traffic. It's literally just a lever to pull more traffic because, like I said, traffic is so abundant. You should never have a situation where you don't have traffic because you can literally buy it. You can literally give Facebook $1,000 and they're going to give you $1,000 worth of traffic. Easy. And if your system is optimized well, you can get targeted traffic as well too. So the people that you actually want to see your stuff can see your stuff. And I recommend doing this with profile visit ads, boosted ads, and DM ads. And the way that you make this work is your creative has to basically do the targeting itself. So the thing that you're saying in the ad is what's going to do the targeting. There's so much stuff that you can go into it, but a general rule of thumb is just make sure that what you're saying in the ad is calling out a specific type of audience, and you're talking about a desire and a pain point that a specific type of audience would be experiencing that is stopping them from making a lot of money. Okay, don't run ads to external pages. Like if you're going to be using the IG funnel, like I said, we are playing to the strengths of the platform, and these types of ads keep people on the platform for as long as possible. So with this, you're literally with this run-in, just treat it as like you're organic people to see your stuff, because they're going to go through the same flow of seeing a video, commenting a video, getting reached out to, watching your stories, and this feedback loop, it can honestly take you to like 100k cash collector without even having a crazy following. Like I've literally given you guys the whole roadmap. You can execute everything word for word now. However, I feel like you guys are going to be inevitably stuck, and here's why. But before I get into that, I hope you've been enjoying this so far. Like I know I've been going into crazy depth. I don't know how long I'm going into this video, but I don't care. I'm going to explain to you guys why you might still be stuck even though you implement the stuff that I just showed you right now. Because there's two types of people that are very crucial to make a company scale to like 50k a month, especially 100k a month. You need someone that's a thinker, and you need someone that's an implementer. So the thinker is the person that comes up with the ideas, and then you need an implementer that basically does the stuff, essentially. This is for like the back end of the coaching business. Think about it logically. Designers think about the design and how it should look, like the web designers, maybe graphic designers. They think about how a design should look, and then programs and developers actually build it. Architects design how buildings should look. Builders, construction guys, they actually build the thing. The architect is not building the stuff. The designer is not building the thing. Because as business owners, we naturally play the roles of thinkers. We are the people that innovate. We're the people that think. However, at the same time, we also play the role of implementers. You can play both and get yourself to like 10k a month. And what I mean by implementers is like we also play the role of the guy who's editing the videos, the guy who's messaging the followers, the guy who's, literally doing all the hard work, making the automations, all that type of stuff. You can play those both roles like by yourself, like honestly, and I recommend people should do that, get to like 10k a month. But I don't know if you've read all this way or watched this video all the way just to get to 10k a month if you're a coach. Because these types of results I'm showing you right now only happen when you have a thinker and implementer working in tangent. So think about this. This is a client I had, and I thought about this and I was like, hey, what if you try this, bro? There's a couple promo strategies you can do. And the setup I placed for him, the implementer came in and did the thing to make him money. So I was like, hey, here's this idea I have. Let's send this to the implementer and let's make him implement this with speed so that we can actually get money. And then boom, he DM closed someone for I think 3k, which is crazy. Was it 3k? Let me just make sure I can't see the screenshot properly. I think it was 3k. See, I think it was 2k honestly, yeah, because I remember the Black Friday thing was like 1,000 off, but it's 2k company. And he's on track to scale his company 30k a month, working 50 times less than he was before when he jumped on us. Simply because we gave him an implementer, and that person was literally just doing the inputs that he didn't have to do, and it was getting him speed of return. And I took the role of a thinker. So I came in, I thought about the systems, gave the systems to someone to implement, and they implemented it. And why does this happen for so many of my other clients and not for programs that you probably might have bought or paid thousands of dollars itself? So the problem lies that most of these programs and these courses are going to show you how to think. They give you thinkers. They give you all the methodology. They show you how. They give you all this information. Basically, the stuff I'm giving you right now, they give it to you. However, they don't give you the implementers and the systems that you can build into your business. They don't give you the building blocks so that they don't give you the building blocks to actually move the needle and get results. That's the craziest part. So that's why a lot of these people, it's so funny, a lot of these people that pay like 10, 15K, they end up coming to me for my services, even though they've paid for something that they should know how to do themselves, simply because they don't have an implementer in their business. And a lot of the times, that's what actually moves the needle and gets them results. It's not the information. You watching this stuff is not going to get you results if you don't do anything with it. And that's why a lot of people are stuck contemplating, they're doing something wrong, they make mistakes, they burn calls, and they do it because they just haven't been in the trenches long enough. So even when they do get the information, a lot of the times they don't use that information to their best ability because they're not implementers, okay? And it's not their fault. And I've seen it so many times. I see so many people spend 10K on a program just to be in a bunch of course modules, just to be in a bunch of group calls, and they still have to do everything themselves. I've seen people spend 15, 10, so much money, and they're still stuck. It's crazy. Like a lot of my clients come from coaching programs where they spent thousands of dollars, but they still pay me for implementers because they realize that they can't do this stuff by themselves. And the funny part is, even the people that get success in those programs after implementing everything, they still buy my stuff. They still get implementers simply because they're working so much now. They have all the knowledge, but they're wearing all of the hats in their business. And I'm not pulling this out of thin air, because if you go watch my interviews, my clients are saying how they spend 10, 15K on programs, but they still got more value from what they were doing. I'm not pulling this out of thin air because it's just simply logic. Like, even after these students scale, like, you can even watch interviews with these people on, like, you know, the huge guru websites or like YouTube channels, and the students are still saying that, yeah, bro, like, I can't wait. Once I get a setup, I'm going to be able to do this, blah, 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 blah. Like, they still have these problems that need to be solved. And at that point, they're the central point of failure in their business. So what that means is they can't take any days off. Otherwise, their business takes a day off as well too. If they don't respond to DMs on that day, they don't book any appointments on that day. They took a week of content, their income also takes a week off as well too. And if the market changes that they don't have to tweak the offer and their messaging, they lose sales. They're basically slaves to their own business. They're not running anything. If they take a break, they're just leaving. They're basically just highly paid consultants. That's basically what it is. That you can't really call that a business. And this is what these programs turn you into. They've turned you into highly paid consultants, but they don't turn you into business owners. Because at the end of the day, you can't take a week off your business if you don't have an implementer. So, what is the solution? So, before I show you the solution, I want you to understand that if you're stuck at 5K to like 15K, you're the prime target for these types of people. You need to be aware of how they don't really help you. And the model you really need to truly scale past the 50K a month is an offer where someone comes in, builds systems into your business, gives you the processes and the things that you need so that it doesn't rely on you to scale. You need a great offer and message that speaks out to your audience and your market in your market research. You need a funnel that attracts high quality leads. You need an attention generating system that is getting content assets, that's getting booster stuff for you. You need a system that doesn't rely on you to perform, that books you 5 to 10 calls a day, or 5 to 10 calls a week, whatever calls you need for your offers, because some B2B offers might need less calls, B2C offers might need more. You need a very optimized content nurture process. You need that system built into your business. You need someone that sets this up and guarantees it works, so there's basically no risk for you, essentially. Like, you need to buy the Lego blocks in your business that are missing to get you to where you want to be. Because if you rely on yourself, you're going to become the central point of failure. So anytime you want to take a break off, from anytime you feel burnout, you're basically just going to be lost by yourself, okay? And that's why I built the high secret protocol, because I realized that there was this gap where people were just offering thinking services and they were not giving implementing services. They weren't giving systems that people could use in their business to actually scale. And I built this out to just show you guys that you don't need to be following these things, and you can actually build something by yourself. So this is where I build out your offer. I give you the offer system that you can use by yourself. I give you the end result where you can basically start charging over 4K for your services for people that actually want to buy. We build out your profile funnel. We optimize it so it gets the high quality leads. We build out your content grid strategy done by in-house creative directors. So stuff that doesn't rely on you again. Fix out your bio so you get inbound messages as well too. End result is now you can qualify prospects much better. You can attract more high quality leads that are actually interested in your offer. Next, we craft your sales assets. So this is where we create your custom VSLs. We script out your stuff. We help you edit and record as well too. And at the end of this, you get people that actually want to hop on a call with you and give you money, basically. You're speaking to more qualified prospects and you're getting more closes as well too. And now you have a sales process system. And this is a pre-call nurture sequence that actually warms a prospect. Again, SOP that gives you how to get 90% show up rates. We build our sales process that built by closer that's closed over like 3.5 million, and also coaches a lot of our clients as well too. And it kind of looks like this. As a result, you get less burn calls, more closes, and more money in the bank, and also more money for you to spend. And finally, we give you our process on how we find and place highly trained appointment setters. Depending on what you do, we actually come in and place these people for you. You get a proven DM script that's actually written by me, helped by me, and you get tri-weekly meetings to review performance, end of the report, so that we can see how everything's performing. And as you can see, it generates a lot of results. Like, I'm so tired talking about results, guys. Like, if you want to go sniff around, just go check my Instagram, guys. Like, there's just so many to talk about. It's insane. As a result, you get a filled up calendar with warm prospects that actually want to buy a product consistently every single day without doing the work yourself. You get weekly consulting with me, you get access to my whole team and my community, and you get surrounded by killers that actually want to win every single day. They're dominating their industry. So, how do you get there? You need to book a call if there's something that you're interested in. Because I can tell you there's a lot of work. This isn't a service that's infinitely scalable, because I am building these systems into people's businesses. And a lot of the times people say people do always only 5-star slides, blah, blah, blah. But since this is actually like a really done for you service, there is a limit on the type of people that we can actually bring on to ensure that everyone gets like a high quality like service and deliverables, and the system's actually high quality as well too. So I don't know how long I'm going to leave this offer on, but it's going to be there. You can actually book a call. And honestly, guys, these systems, they're not that expensive. Like some people, like they're not crazy expensive, guys. Like, come on. I'm just going to let you guys know so that you can kind of lower your guard down. They're not that expensive, okay? And it guarantees that you can actually make like a crazy amount of money. So there's going to be a link to book in, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. Hope you enjoyed this video. Put a lot of time into this and a lot of effort. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I guess we'll speak very soon. Hope you're having a lovely rest of your day. Just wait, I want to touch the hour mark right now. Okay. We touched the hour mark. Wait, actually, I might have to like, there's a part where I was checking to see if it was recording, so I might have to like cut that out. But yeah, now we passed the hour mark. Peace.